Hello, everybody, and welcome to another My Music. Now, today's guest has barely entered puberty, or I don't know, he might have done, but he's very, very young, and he makes me feel very, very old. But that's fine, I'm down with the kids. Well, I've got 5 of my own, and they kind of keep me in check. So we can talk about that in a minute. He has been on Britain's Got Talent. He's done that. He's done like lots of radio specials and like open get look, but we're not going to talk about any of that today, right? Because if you want that, there are multiple, because I've just gone and looked at them, there are multiple interviews with him all over the interweb where you can hear Cormac talking about all the things that he used to do. We're going to talk about Cormac from what he's doing now as an artist. He's dropped the Thompson. He's now Cormac, even though he's got it on the screen. And he's coming to tell us what he's going to be up to in the future. So hold steady. Here's the dancing cat. We'll be back in a minute to speak to Cormac.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop.
Did you enjoy the dancing cat? The dancing cat's there, really. It's what it
I
does.
did enjoy it.
Yeah, it does what it says on the tin, really. That's what it is. Tell me, young man, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 16. I'm nearly 17. So in March, I'll be 17.
Okay, right. You're in your head, you're growing up quick, right?
Yes,
and
definitely.
you're beyond your years already. And you probably leave your room a mess from time to time, and you probably get grumpy around the house and go "Ugh," like that.
Well, you have to ask my mum about that.
Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we'll send her a special note after this to find out exactly what.
Yeah, I don't think you'd want her on. She talks too much. You won't be able to get her to stop talking.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
brilliant.
Irish, so that kind of explains it.
Oh, that's all good. That's all good. Now, listen, I did very briefly mention, and I said I'm not going to go into it, but I want to know from you, your perspective, how fed up are you getting now of people just talking about the past?
Very, to be honest. I think the best way to describe it is if, say, I'm not exactly a different person, so I think that was a bad analogy, but essentially when I was younger, I did a lot of classical music and the sort of stuff that wouldn't be deemed cool amongst my generation. Maybe to a few people, but even to myself, it's not really, I don't see it as cool from what I did before. I think what I do now is cool. But essentially, I've grown up as an artist and as a person as well. But I was doing classical music when I was younger, and then once my voice changed, I sort of realized I don't really want to do classical music anymore, and I want to move more into the sort of pop rock sort of area genre. And even then, I'm sort of still kind of finding my feet in what specific genre that I want to go into, but I know it's definitely not classical. But yeah, no, I think people definitely bring it up still. There's a lot of people that still say, "Oh my God, Cormac, we're on BGT," and obviously I'm not like, "Oh yeah, I was," but I'm like, "Yeah, I was. That's cool." So I'm still like appreciative of people saying that my old stuff is cool and they enjoy my old music. And lots of my supporters have been very supportive with me moving on to be a new person, and they're open to whatever I want to do, and they'll say that they still support me. So yeah, it's just that, to be honest. Yeah.
Have you ever got any advice from anyone else that's ever been through that? I mean, like the Charlotte Churches of this world or the Aled Jones. I met Aled Jones in a lift once, by the way.
Oh wow, yeah, no, I've met him a few times actually. But not really, to be honest. I think Charlotte Church and Aled Jones are a bit different because they kind of stayed in the classical vein. I think Charlotte Church did. I'm not 100% sure. I think she was more classical crossover when she got older. But I want to completely steer away from that and basically reinvent myself as a completely new artist.
Charlotte actually went into kind of rock at one
Oh, did
point.
she? Okay,
Yeah, she
okay.
went
Yeah,
into
no.
rock
Yeah.
and even like appeared on TV, like she started doing stuff with like the Manic Street Preachers and people like that. So
Okay.
she
Fair
really
enough.
had that kind of,
Yeah, yeah.
I want to get out of this. I think she's kind of almost come full circle.
Mm,
Which I feel I kind of understand.
yeah,
It
definitely.
depends. It depends where your voice goes as well. But your voice is obviously broken
Yeah,
from
yeah. It's pretty much settled now.
yeah.
There was a phase for about a year. It broke when I was 13 and a half, so the summer of year 9. Which was actually before a lot of my friends, which we didn't expect. We thought that my voice would be going down year 10,
Was
middle
there
of
a
year
whole
10.
period there where you weren't allowed to sing? By the way,
Well, I was allowed to sing, but I don't think you would have wanted to hear it, to be honest, because it
oh,
sounded
it's
pretty
awful, was it?
awful.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's the same with every boy that's gone through that, from singing in their high voice before they hit puberty, and then once obviously puberty comes along, your voice goes down. But yeah, no, now my voice is pretty much fully settled. I mean, it doesn't fully proper like get into how it will sound until you're about 19, 20. So I've still got lots of time for my voice to kind of to be able to, what's the word, hone my skills with my new voice. But I've had it for 3 years now, so
yeah.
but yeah.
It's still very much a clean voice. Are you thinking or hoping that at some point it will get a bit of gruff in it?
It actually, when I sing, sometimes I can get a bit of rasping. I was singing a Weezer song in my singing lesson literally just 20 30 minutes ago. And my teacher was saying how I'm getting a nice bit of rasp coming through.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, no, it's definitely, it's good rasp if you can control it.
Yeah.
And I kind of was and kind of wasn't at the same time. I don't know if maybe I'm just a bit tired, but my voice feels different pretty much every day. It probably sounds the same to most people if they listen to it, but because I'm singing every day at college, I'm doing music. To me, my voice feels and sounds different pretty much every single day. I'll go through a period where it feels really smooth and I can control it very well, and I'll go through a period where I feel like it's a bit rough. But then I'll say to my mates, "Oh, I feel my voice isn't really on form today," and they're like, "What are you on about? It sounds exactly the same." And then I'm like, "Ooh."
Oh yeah, but to the singer, you're always hypercritical of it
Yeah, yeah,
in your own
exactly.
head.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Because actually, that kind of psychological thing around your head, especially when you're young,
Mm,
right, and especially as you've gone through like your voice completely changing as well.
yeah.
How do you kind of feel comfortable with that? Because
Mm,
it's not an easy thing. It's an one book, by the way, that you really should go and read is Tracy Thorn's book about Naked in the Albert Hall, which is all about singing. It's a
mm,
really good book, right? And it's about how like vulnerable a singer is, really,
yeah.
because it's the one instrument out there where you almost never have complete control.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very true, to be honest.
So how do you cope with like the fact that sometimes you just might wake up with a bit of a cold, or you're
Yeah.
just not having a great day with your voice and whatever and you just the temptation is there to think, oh, am I ever going to sing properly again? Of course it will
Yeah.
come back round, but how do you deal with that on a day like that?
I think it's kind of just having faith and riding it out, to be honest. Although there will be periods, say if I've got a cold or if I've been at like a football match and I've been shouting or something, where my voice will sound weird and a bit raspy, but I won't have like thoughts. I'm like, oh no, am I going to sound like this forever? Because I've worked with so many like people that know a lot about vocals and how the actual anatomy of the vocal cords and stuff. So I just, yeah, just have faith, to be honest.
Cool. How much of your life's been vocal lessons then?
Oh, a lot. I must have
Really?
spent, yeah, no, way a lot of time. I've been consistently having them about twice a week for 3, 4 years.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't think apart from holiday times, there'd been a week where I hadn't done a singing lesson since about 2020, when I started properly releasing music and getting myself out there. Yeah.
Now you've done some covers of obviously people like Ed Sheeran, etc.
Yeah, yeah.
Why have you picked the songs that you have picked?
I think at that time when I did those Ed Sheeran songs, personally, I'm not actually a massive fan of Ed Sheeran. I like the bloke; he's a nice guy, and he's very good music. I prefer more of his old stuff, to be honest, rather than his new stuff. Um, but his vocals in those songs, they fitted very much, very comfortably in my zone where I was at the time when I recorded them, and sounded good. At least I think they did. Um, so I think that was definitely part of it. But I don't think I'll be doing another Ed Sheeran song anytime soon, to be honest. Sort of kind of steering away from the more ballady stuff. I want to do some more upbeat stuff, and because a lot of the stuff on my YouTube channel and on my Spotify is very sad, and all the Spotify playlists I get put on are like these sad ones. And I'm not a sad person. I'm quite a happy person, I think. So yeah,
Well, yeah, but look, if you think of someone like Robert Smith of The Cure, he's made
yeah,
he's made a career out of writing sad songs, but he's actually
yeah,
quite a
true.
chirpy chappy, when
Yeah,
you listen to him.
yeah,
Maybe he's having the last laugh,
yeah.
Maybe that's the best way to go, put out sad songs, but be really, really happy.
Yeah,
What are you beginning to write about then? I mean, you're still young, so
yeah,
I always like when I've got young people in on this, it's so obvious when like someone's like my age or in their 40s or whatever, and they go, I've had a hard life and this has happened and that's happened and this, or, I've got all of this stuff to write about. What does someone of your age write about?
I think at the moment it's sort of like just basic teenage angst, especially from a teenage boy's perspective, because it's not really talked about that much.
No,
Um,
true.
but fortunately, I've not had many experiences in my life that have been traumatic enough to write a song about. But I mean, you can write a song about anything, to be honest, as long as you're creative enough with the lyrics, and it's not like I walked my dog down the road and that's it. But as long as you're creative with the lyrics and they actually have meaning, it kind of annoys me when I listen to a song, especially more in the hip hop world, that there's a lot of lyrics. You just going through the lyrics on Spotify while the song's playing, and you're like, what is he on about? What's he talking about? What's the song about? But then you will obviously get ones where the lyrics are very obvious what the song's about, and those are the ones that I enjoy because there's a deeper meaning behind them. I think Tom Adele's a good example of that. He's very raw in his lyrics and very authentic. Yeah, I've done a few Tom Adele songs actually. I enjoy his music, even though he's very sad as well.
Yeah, well, he is very sad. But
Yeah,
I almost feel like he's only just beginning to completely find himself, though.
yeah, no,
'Cause
yeah, he is.
yeah,
Yeah,
because he had a lot of success very early on in his career, but I feel
yeah,
like now, almost like as the spotlights come off of him a little bit more, he's
yeah,
actually been able to express himself
yeah. I
in a
prefer
better
Tom
way.
Adele's new music, to be honest. All the stuff since he released the first album where he did Another Love and Heal and those, I prefer his new stuff. I went to see him live actually at the Co-op Arena in Manchester with my mate. It was really good. It was very, very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
What do you look for yourself in someone that's performing live? What makes you feel like, oh, this is the kind of music or that's the kind of performance I want to give?
I think when someone looks very comfortable on stage, when I'm watching someone on stage and they look uncomfortable, it makes me feel uncomfortable. If I'm looking at someone on stage and it looks like they're in their element, like Tom Adele and most performers these days, and they don't even have to be doing much. Tom Adele doesn't even do that much when he's on stage. Although he did actually jump on top of the grand piano at the Co-op Arena, so maybe I'll take that back. But it's something engaging. I think facial expression is something that is very important as well, because you can be literally just you and a microphone, not jumping around and being all crazy, and just in facial expressions and small hand gestures, and it still draws you in. And even through the emotion coming through via your voice can be very enticing to listen to. So yeah.
Good singers, really great singers, talk about getting immersed in the song, sort of
Yeah.
kind of forgetting that the audience is there.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you found that comfortable place in terms of getting immersed in the song and being able to, not even think about the audience?
Yeah, there was an example of that actually where I had that literal thought in my head when I was on stage. I did a battle of the bands at college, and it sounds like it was quite small, but it was actually massive. There was about 2,000 people in the room. It was no, maybe not that much actually, probably about 1,000, maybe 1,500. But there was a lot of people in there, and it was very good atmosphere. People were cheering and everything. We were actually doing a cover of Creep Radiohead with my band.
Oh, cool.
And I just sang the massive bridge, the big penultimate, not penultimate, the big climax of the song, and then the final verse where it's really stripped back and very intimate. I was just on stage and I was playing piano as well. And I just leant back and I could see like all these flashlights in the crowd. And that feeling was just like, it was so good. Because I just kind of came back into reality after hitting the big bridge. Because I was really in my element there. But we didn't win, which I was a bit disappointed about. Lots of people said that we should have won, but yeah, that's down to the teachers. But yeah.
Well, oh well. Now look, if it's down to
Yeah.
teachers, forget it, mate.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's in the, do you know the bit where it says the F word? The teacher told me not to say it, and I still said it. So my
Well,
mates
you were in the
reckon
moment.
that's
You were in the
why.
moment. You couldn't-
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's part of the song, and it's expressing how the lead singer of Radiohead felt when he was doing it. He hates the song though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know why, because it's a banging song. I love it. But yeah.
Well, I think sometimes, like all singer songwriters, etc. I think sometimes you just move on from that as a moment.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe if it's wrapped up, well, it's a bit like you and Britain's Got Talent. Sometimes
Yeah.
if it's wrapped up in a kind of like publicity moment or whatever, it's hard to kind of get that out of your head,
Yeah.
right? And you know, because other people are kind of always taking you back to that space. So maybe it's like that for him. You know,
Yeah.
he'll have his reasons, but they've continued to make some great music along the way anyway. So
Yeah, they have.
you know, what's the biggest challenge for you right now in terms of finding where you're going, where your voice should be going, where your writing should be going, what your sound should be like? What's the biggest challenge?
I think this might come to a surprise for some people if they know who I am when they're listening. But it's motivation, and sort of finding my drive as an artist. I think because at such a young age, everything was served to me on a platter. Like I got a record deal when I was 11. I didn't have to work for that. Like I just got really, really lucky. And I think the fact that 90% of musicians these days have to graft and properly work very, very hard to actually get to where they want to be. And I didn't have to do that. So I think skipping that has been actually a very negative effect on me. Because now when I'm at that age now where I have to do it myself and I haven't got my parents to help me, and I actually encourage my parents not to help me so I can find that drive. I think it's definitely getting there. I'm definitely more motivated than I was, say, this time last year with my music. But even just posting stuff on social media, and I hate that that's how you have to promote yourself, to be honest.
Well, no,
I really don't
most
enjoy
people
it.
do, but I'm here to
Yeah.
give you some advice, Cormac. So
Yeah,
that's all
go on.
good. Okay, right. So two things on this, which
Yeah.
I have spoken to some young musicians about before, but this is really helpful. Okay, I have to explain that in my daytime job, I do this for people, right?
Yeah.
So this is the truth. One is you mentioned there that it just came to you, but now you're kind of, you know, you got to get into that kind of motivation. You need to be accountable to somebody. So if you're not putting your parents in that place, quite understandably,
Mhm.
what I would say to you is, who is keeping you accountable? Who's that person that's in that space keeping you accountable? Do you
To
know?
be fair, probably is my mum.
Right. Okay. Maybe, just maybe, find somebody else
Yeah.
to keep you accountable. Maybe get someone, even if they're like just a, you know, older musician or whatever that's been through it, etc., or has had, you know, had that kind of big push experience or whatever. I've had like a number of people on here that have been through The Voice or things like that. Maybe someone like that that's been through it's got a bit further along the track with their career now. Find someone like that who can just touch base with you every now and again and go, right, Cormac, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right? it's really good to get like an accountability buddy in there. I feel like that's the thing. Second thing, on the social media and whatever, my best bit of advice to you is treat that like music. So in other words, right, don't see the creative process of that as something you need to do for music. Just get into the creative process for the social media. In other words, find something that you do that will promote the music that isn't what everybody else is doing. Make it creative.
Yeah.
Right. And if you need to, work with someone like me, it doesn't have to be me, but work with someone like me, right, who can spark ideas off of you and go, why don't we do this? Right. Because it's a creative process, that. And if you enjoy it as a creative process, rather than go, oh right, so this month I'm going to release a song, and then next month I'm going to release a song, and I'm going to do this kind of like pre thing, and then I'm going to do that and whatever. That gets into boring world, right? But if you can go really creative, go like, do you know what we should do? We're going to do a campaign, and it's going to be like this, and it's going to be, and it's going to be different. That's where you'll find it's fun again then,
Yeah, no, that is actually very interesting to look at it from a different perspective. Yeah, no, that's good advice. Thank you.
No, it's all right. We've been here before. Trust me, everybody that's been and done it has gone, wow, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Completely different perspective.
Yeah.
How many songs have you got kind of coming up in your armory at the moment? What you've got a song that you've written about growing up.
Yeah.
Or growing up in this business, which is kind of the one that's out now, and it's got a great visualizer on YouTube. Go and check it out, everybody. We'll put a link in straight underneath this, boom, like that, so you can go and press the button, etc. But what else are you working on?
At the moment, I'm not actually working on anything specific, which is something that I need to find. I need to get a goal and sort of say I need to write a song, go to the studio and record it, and see if I want to release it. But yeah, no, I think I'm still in that sort of zone where I'm trying to still find that motivation, and I'm still trying to find what sort of genre I want to lean into. Because I've even experimented with doing a bit of hip hop stuff just at home on Logic, and
but with good lyrics.
Yeah, I think at least. Lyrics are not a strong point of mine, actually, to be honest. I'm much more capable with the melodies side of things. Lyrics.
Well, maybe that's it then, Cormac. Maybe you need to find a lyricist.
Yeah, I've actually considered that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But even just I've written a few songs with my mates in my band at college. And they're miles better at writing the lyrics. What we've actually do is we'll come up with a chord progression together, and then I'll sing the melody and make up a melody, and then the lyrics will start coming to them. To be fair, I've suggested a few lyrics, and then my mates have gone off them. But yeah, no, I much prefer writing a song in a collaborative way rather than doing it by myself. I find it much more easier because, say, if you're doing it by yourself, you're not really like, I don't know how to explain it. You can just pick up your phone and start scrolling on TikTok because you're not doing it for anyone else. But say if you're writing a song with someone else, they want to get an end goal, so you don't want to disappoint. It's not really, I don't consciously think that, but it's more of a subconscious thing. And I always find that my ideas get flowing more if you're sort of bouncing back ideas with someone. So yeah.
Well, listen, you never know, right? Someone might be watching this right now when this goes out, right? And they might go, yep, do you know what? I'm gonna hit you up with some great lyrics. Or I've got a few tunes I want to hit you up. Do that, folks, but only if you're good.
Yeah, please do.
Right? Only if you're good. If you're rubbish, please don't do it. Okay. So you got to apply your own kind of quality filter to it. But we've had that happen on here. We've literally had it happen on here that I've had like an artist on, and then we've had another artist on, and then I've been told by one artist I'm looking for, and then I've put the two people together, and that's it. Boom.
Yeah.
And there they go. So we've done it before on this show. We've created world tours out of it. So who knows? Maybe you'll find your writer out of this. That would be great, wouldn't it?
That would be very good. Yeah.
A co-writer for Cormac. You know, you could make this happen out there, folks. If if you're a kind of like a bedroom type writer out there and you've just never really put it out there, but you know your stuff's really good, then get in touch with Cormac. Just don't be weird about it. All right. That's just kind of odd. Do you play many instruments then, Cormac? I mean, guitar, piano. What do you play?
Primarily piano. I'm reasonably capable on piano, about grade 6-ish, 7-ish standard.
That's great.
And I can improvise to a not very high level, but I can improvise. And then on guitar, I'm pretty just basics. I can play all the basic chords. I can play a few bar chords and a few power chords. But I'm much more capable on the piano. I think I'd rather be an artist labeled as a piano player and a singer, and I accompany myself, rather than a guitarist and a singer. Because there's a lot of boys my age that play a guitar and sing rather than play the piano and sing. I don't actually know another boy my age that sings and plays piano. Yet to find. I'm sure there is some, but I've never met one. So yeah.
Right. So listen, I need to know before we go today. So what else outside of music do you actually like? What are the things that you spend your time doing? You said football, so I assume that you're a football fan, or do you play football as well?
Not as much as I used to be honest. I used to play a lot of football before music. My whole I was like, I'm going to be a football player, and then sort of I discovered I could sing, and that kind of overtook. But I haven't actually played football for a long time. I mean, I played it at my old school, but since I've gone to college, I've not played it, and I don't really follow it anymore either, to be honest. Which is a bit of a shame. I should probably try to get back into it.
Or
But I
I reckon
enjoy
you should
going to
get
the
back in
gym.
it, because think about
Yeah.
it. At your age, right? You know they do that. They do that sport aid thing every year, don't they? Like
Yeah,
with
yeah, they
Robbie
do.
Williams, or whatever. Yeah, if you got
Yeah.
back into it now, you might be able to play on that.
Maybe,
That'd
maybe.
be
Who
good.
knows? Yeah.
That's a good way of meeting some good musicians, right? Is to
Yeah,
do.
no, definitely.
Yeah, good idea. Okay, so football would be a good one. What else? What do you do in your spare time?
I go to the gym a lot. So I've
Okay.
started. That's only more of a recent thing in the past 3 or 4 months. But I've sort of properly locked in with the gym. I go 4 times a week now.
Wow.
And I've sort of changed my diet up a bit as well. I'm trying to get a bit of muscle on, I enjoy that a lot, which is actually quite good. I play squash as well every Sunday. My dad got me into that. It was originally my mum played it when she was younger, and then she got old and less fit, and then my dad kind of started playing it as well. So and then I started playing it as well. But yeah, no, I also enjoy playing on my Xbox with my mates. Yeah, don't know if you'd count watching TV shows as a hobby, but I do watch some TV shows.
That's cool.
But yeah, no.
Everybody does. What sort of things do you watch on telly?
I'm watching Game of Thrones right now.
Oh, Game of Thrones. You've gone back. You've gone back to go forwards. Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
really enjoying it. Actually, last night I watched the Planet of the Apes second film. I watched the first one the night before, and I've really enjoyed them. They're really good films, and I'm a massive fan of the Avatar films as well. And then TV show wise, my favorite 2 TV shows probably, actually no, 3. I'll say The Walking Dead, Dexter.
My son loves The
and,
Walking Dead.
Yeah, no, it's very good. And Prison Break, which is really good as well.
Yeah. So you're a big Rick Grimes fan?
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, it's a good bit of acting, isn't it? It's a great.
Yeah, no,
bit
he's
of
a good.
acting.
He's a cracking actor. Yeah.
Listen, I think one of the things that you really need to do in there is just I feel like I'm just giving advice, but I am. I'm just giving advice.
That's good.
Fill your diary with activity. This is something I say to people all the time, right? This really helps in terms of like A, songwriting, and B, everything else like social media and whatever. Rather, because people come to me and they go, "Oh, I'm not sure what to write about today. I'm not sure what to, I'm not sure what to put out there." And I say, well, so what's in your diary? And they go, well, not really very much. I go, right, put stuff in your diary. So I would go looking for, are there things out there that you can be part of? Is there like an event going on, or is there something a little bit bigger than just the daily routine that you can get involved in? Go to those things, because quite often I find and do something new, do something different on a regular basis. Because if you put stuff in your diary and it makes you go to it and it makes you be part of something, quite often that's where the inspiration comes from.
Yeah.
because inspiration, I think, comes from seeing different things. The amount of writers that like will go somewhere else, go visit like a different place, spend time here, there, or anywhere, immersing themselves in a different culture or whatever, because it suddenly opens their eyes to writing about and listening to a different sound as well.
Mm.
I feel like those are really great opportunities. So anything you can do, I know you're young, and you don't want to worry your parents that you're suddenly going to go off to India or whatever. But yeah, I just feel like if you can like put in your diary, like I'll go to that festival. It's not actually even my cup of tea, but I'm going to go to it, and see find a different music, see what it's like, think about the experience. All of those things can help you write.
Yeah, definitely.
It's always a good idea.
Listen, you get to meet new people as well.
Listen.
Yeah.
Do you know what? As humans, we need to be in amongst people in order to write stuff that resonates with people.
Exactly.
It's the truth, So we should be open to communication. We should be open to listening to people's stories, because if we've got the opportunity to hear people's stories, sometimes that's what brings us, the real inspiration and the truth to do something. There you go. So when I was a little bit older than you, I'll show you this now as total inspiration, right? Because you look so much better than this. By the way, this is a question for you. Why are all kids your age got haircuts like that? Because my son's exactly the same.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest.
Just because it's cool, isn't it?
Just as what's trending, probably. When I'm older, I'll look back at photos of my hair and think it looks ridiculous.
I think you will, But there you go. It's the way it is. That was me, my friend. When look, 19, that was me.
Oh wow,
that was my hair. I was in a band called the Colourful People. There we go. So
good stuff.
I hope you get somewhere with your music. I hope that I hope that you continue with the band thing as well.
Yeah,
I think that's a good direction to go in. I hope you find like other things to talk about, other things to write about. I hope you find someone that can mentor you in a way and that help you kind of develop.
Yeah, no, that's actually. I think I will consider doing that, to be honest. Yeah,
cool. Listen, if you can't find anyone, ask, and I'll see if I can perhaps reach out to some people that at least will have a conversation with you, even if they can't afford the time to do it, about maybe what helped them coming out of like that kind of show and stuff as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been a pleasure meeting you today, Cormac. And look, we didn't really talk about at all, which
we didn't.
No, which is good. For anyone that's just listening, the latest song that you have out is called
Defenseless.
You have to say that with really defenseless deep voice. It's called Defenseless. There's a visualizer for it on YouTube. Do go and watch that. We will put the link to it straight there. Press with your thumb, and you're listening to it. You're now listening to Cormac on your Spotify, etc. And if you like it, do go and add it to a playlist, and do stop and speak to Cormac on the socials as well, and tell him,
yes, please.
Hello, I'm here, and I like you more since you ditched the Britain's Got Talent thing, because that's what he'd really love to hear.
Yes, and that would be music to my ears.
Yes, and talk to him about perhaps where you'd like to see his music go in the future as well, because it will give him some inspiration. Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much for having me on. Thank you.
No, absolute pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Cormac. Okay. If you've enjoyed this conversation, folks, please do go and share it with other people, because it's the way that the world goes round, sharing, and it's a marvelous thing. We will be back soon with more of this, but until then, from Cormac and myself, bye for now. Have a good day.
Thank you.